wondered how the vibrant culture of South Africa came to be? Today we're diving into an essential part of its history, the arrival of Bantu speakers around 500 CE. This event marked a significant shift in the region's history, with the introduction of new technologies and practices that shaped the South African society we know today. The Bantu speakers didn't just bring their language, but also their knowledge of farming, ironworking, and cattle rearing. So buckle up for an exciting journey into the past. Our story begins in the region that is now Cameroon and Nigeria, the original home of the Bantu-speaking people. This area was a cradle of culture and innovation, a bustling hub of human activity from which a multitude of languages, traditions, and technologies would spring. Around 5,000 years ago, a significant event took place that would shape the course of African history, the Bantu Expansion. This was not a single event, but rather a series of migrations that unfolded over many centuries. The Bantu-speaking people, driven by a combination of population growth and a desire for new lands, began to move out from their homeland. This expansion was more than just a physical migration. It represented the spread of a way of life, a culture, a language family. As the Bantu speakers moved, they interacted with different cultures and environments, adapting and evolving, yet retaining a core set of linguistic and cultural characteristics that marked them as distinctly Bantu. These early Bantu speakers were not just wanderers, but skilled farmers and herders. They brought with them knowledge of ironworking, a technology that would revolutionize the societies they encountered. They also brought domesticated crops and animals, including yams, bananas, and cattle. These migrations were not without challenges. The Bantu speakers had to navigate through dense forests, cross mighty rivers, and climb over towering mountains. Yet they persevered, driven by a combination of necessity and ambition, their journey marked by both hardship and triumph. As they moved south, the Bantu speakers encountered new environments and peoples. These interactions would have a profound impact on both the Bantu speakers and the societies they encountered, leading to cultural exchange, conflict, cooperation, and ultimately, transformation. Their journey to the south was fraught with challenges, yet they persevered. The story of the Bantu speakers is a testament to human resilience and adaptability, a story of a people who, in the face of adversity, not only survived but thrived, forever changing the landscape of southern Africa. Navigating through dense forests, crossing mighty rivers, and climbing towering mountains, the Bantu speakers embarked on their epic journey. This was no small feat. Imagine the courage and resolve it took to leave behind familiar lands and venture into the unknown. But the Bantu speakers were not ordinary travelers. They were skilled farmers and herders, equipped with a deep understanding of the land and its resources. As they journeyed south, the Bantu speakers carried with them more than just their hopes and dreams. They brought with them knowledge, skills, and tools that would reshape the region. One of their most important assets was their mastery of iron technology. With iron tools, they could cultivate the land more efficiently, clearing vast tracts of wilderness to make way for their crops. This was a game changer. It meant more food, more stability, and ultimately, the ability to support larger communities. But the Bantu speakers didn't just bring iron. They also brought cattle. Domesticated cattle were an integral part of their way of life. These animals were not just a source of food, providing milk and meat. They were also a form of currency, a measure of wealth, and a crucial part of social and religious rituals. In a world without banks or coins, cattle were a tangible, versatile resource. The journey was long and fraught with challenges. But with every step they took, the Bantu speakers were sowing the seeds of a new era. They were laying the groundwork for a society that was more complex, more interconnected, and more dynamic than anything the region had seen before. The Bantu speakers' journey was not just a physical journey. It was a journey of transformation, a journey that would leave a lasting imprint on the land and its people. As they settled into their new home, they brought with them a way of life that was both innovative and adaptive, a way of life that would thrive and evolve over the centuries. The introduction of iron and cattle would soon change the face of the region, But that's a story for another time. For now, let's marvel at the resilience and ingenuity of the Bantu speakers as they embarked on their incredible journey south. Iron and cattle, brought by the Bantu speakers, revolutionized life in the region. The arrival of these two significant elements brought about a seismic shift in the way of life, fundamentally altering the landscape of the local economy and society. Iron, an essential resource, was a game changer. It was like introducing a new superpower into the mix. With iron, the Bantu speakers could fashion tools that were far superior to the stone and bone implements previously used by the local inhabitants. Imagine suddenly having a plow instead of a stick to till your fields. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. The iron tools made farming more efficient, enabling the cultivation of larger areas. This in turn led to an increase in food production, supporting larger communities and setting the stage for the growth of complex societies. Now let's talk about cattle. To the Bantu speakers, cattle were much more than just animals. They were a vital part of their culture and economy. Cattle provided milk and meat, essential sources of nutrition. But their value extended beyond their role as a food source. Cattle also served as a form of currency, used in trade and as dowry in marriages. They were a measure of wealth, and owning large herds was a sign of prestige and power. The introduction of iron and cattle by the Bantu speakers was not just a technological advancement, but a social one as well. It transformed the economic structure, influencing everything from farming practices to social hierarchies. The introduction of these elements laid the groundwork for the diverse and vibrant societies that would later develop in the region. But the Bantu speakers were not alone in this region. The impact of iron and cattle was not confined to their communities alone. Their arrival brought them into contact with the indigenous San and Khoi people, setting the stage for a fascinating interplay of cultures and traditions. Upon their arrival in South Africa, the Bantu speakers encountered the indigenous San and Khoi people. The San, also known as Bushmen, were hunter-gatherers who had lived in the region for thousands of years. The Khoi, often referred to as the Khoi, were pastoralists, herding sheep and cattle. As these different cultures met, there was a complex interplay of conflict and cooperation. The Bantu speakers, with their iron tools and domesticated cattle, were expanding into territories that the San and Khoi had long called home. This inevitably led to tensions and clashes. The Bantu speakers had the advantage of numbers and technology, but the San and Khoi were deeply connected to the land and its resources. Yet, it wasn't all conflict. There were also periods of peace, trade, and cooperation. The Bantu speakers learned from the indigenous people about the local environment and its resources. They adopted the San's knowledge of local plants and the Khoi's expertise in herding under the harsh South African conditions. Cultural exchange was a significant part of these interactions. Over time, the Bantu speakers, San and Khoi, began to adopt elements of each other's languages, practices, and beliefs. This blending of cultures is evident in the rich tapestry of South African culture today, with its mix of Bantu, San, and Khoi influences. Intermarriage between the groups was another important aspect of their interaction. As the Bantu speakers settled in the region, they intermarried with the San and Khoi. This contributed to the genetic and cultural diversity of the region's population. All these interactions between the Bantu speakers and the indigenous San and Khoi people had a profound impact on the region. The Bantu speakers' knowledge of iron and cattle rearing transformed the local economies and societies. Meanwhile, the indigenous people's deep connection with the land and their rich cultural heritage left a lasting imprint on the Bantu speakers. This marked a significant turning point in the region's history. The arrival of the Bantu speakers and their interaction with the indigenous people set the stage for the diverse and vibrant South Africa that we know today. The arrival of Bantu speakers in South Africa around 500 CE transformed the local economies and societies. Their journey from the region now known as Cameroon and Nigeria was a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. Navigating through dense forests, crossing mighty rivers, and climbing towering mountains, they finally reached their destination. Their arrival wasn't just a physical journey, but a cultural and technological voyage as well. Skilled farmers and herders, they introduced iron technology and domesticated cattle to the region. The iron tools revolutionized farming, enabling the cultivation of larger areas. The cattle not only provided sustenance but also became a form of currency, changing the dynamics of local economies. In their new home, they encountered the indigenous San and Khoi people. These interactions, sometimes harmonious, sometimes fraught, led to cultural exchanges and intermarriages that enriched the fabric of South African society. Reflecting on this period of history, we can see how the arrival of the Bantu-speakers marked a significant turning point. It was a time of change and adaptation, of conflict and cooperation. Their legacy endures to this day, contributing to the diverse and vibrant South Africa we know today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating historical content. Until next time, keep exploring.